New Right Network presents, right now, the featured podcast of New Right Network. Mobilizing, countering the left, energizing the right. New Right Network, home of the New Right movement.
Hello, and Matthew Wolf and New Right Network. This show is sponsored by NRN Plus. This show is here to support independent and conservative media. Support independent and conservative media by becoming a premium member at nrnplus.com. That's N as in Nancy, Roger, Nancy, plus.com. With me today is Marc Zelinka for our spotlight interview. Marc is the creator of the cryptocurrency called MAGA Coin, and it's there to benefit conservatives and organizations fighting for America and who support the MAGA movement. 15 million of these coins are going towards ensuring the 22 and 2024 U.S. Congress and White House wins. Approximately 25% of these coins are going to local level grassroots organizations. Welcome to the show, Marc. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for the platform.
Yeah, absolutely. So man, this coin is very, very cool, very exciting. I did a little dive into it. But before we get into it, man, tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit of your background. How'd you get involved in this? And, why did you create MAGA Coin?
Cool. So I was telling you earlier, I started going on all these Trump flag waves, and I was really getting into what was going on. And then we lost. And then I was just thinking, I'm like, what can I do? Because I didn't see any of these guys in Washington stepping up and trying to mobilize this and all that, like I was talking about. And I guess I was just, hey, there's no crypto coin for conservatives. And I just started looking into it, and I found a guy to develop it. And, he's like one of these little developers, not like a big company. It didn't cost me a ton of money. I applied for the trademark.
Wow.
And, we got the coin built. I mean, I'm sure the site needs a little touch up.
No, but, man, I was on there. It looked great.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man, it looks really good. I got on there. I registered.
It worked fine.
It worked great.
Okay, good.
But that's interesting. You didn't even have the background in cryptocurrency.
No, I don't know anything about the technical stuff.
Oh, cool.
So I apologize if there's some questions you asked me and I don't know, but
not at all, man. I'm excited that you have it out there. I think that's a great way to support our conservatives and what we're doing. I mean, the grassroots movement going up. That's where it's going to come from. It's going to come from people doing the Arizona audits and people standing up against their board of education. And all these grassroots movements have to happen in order to affect the change, because otherwise we're just going to keep going down the same road that we've been going down. And I love that you have this coin. Cryptocurrencies are great, and but why cryptocurrencies and not just going the regular fundraising route of the Federal Reserve notes?
Well, a lot of it, I think I was thinking, what can we have that they can't take from us? Because it just seems like right now they're just trying to take, and I'm not a huge Second Amendment guy, but they don't need to be messing with that. I know they're trying to limit our speech. They're, like you said, they're deplatforming people. And I was like, listen, anything we can have right now that they can't take is good.
Yeah.
So let me clarify one thing. When I originally came up with this idea, I wasn't really thinking about the 22 races for the House and the 24 race for the White House. I was just thinking about these groups to help. But it's kind of morphed, and I think more into making sure we win back the House and the White House. And I think roughly it's going to be about 80% for that, And then I think the other 20%, I think, is for probably for these smaller groups like you were talking about that are getting back in the face of the school boards and that kind of thing. Because originally I was thinking of all these big groups like Turning Point USA and blah, blah, blah. And then I was talking to a guy and he's basically telling me, look, they all have plenty of money.
Yeah.
So I think we have to focus on these smaller ones that are doing more stuff local.
Absolutely.
You know, like I know in Texas, a bunch of people just won a school board thing that are, you know, that are conservatives, you know,
Right.
and hopefully they'll stop this critical race garbage. You know, I don't know if you heard about that race.
I've heard a lot of things that are happening
Okay.
kind of on the grassroots.
Yeah.
You're not going to get it in the regular media, unfortunately. You know, everybody's focused on the big problems, you know, the border and things like that. But you know, it's so they don't really have time. I think you know, the local organizations, newer organizations, are your best hope to get any kind of coverage on that kind of stuff. But you know, it's interesting how does that work to get sponsored by MAGA Coin or get a grant through MAGA Coin to get support through you guys?
Well, somebody, not me, is probably going to assume we get this on an exchange.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So I'm looking now at teaming up with a couple people that are in this kind of fundraising world, super PAC world.
Okay.
So if we get this on an exchange, they're going to take that money and they're going to run the PAC. I'm not exactly look, they're going to have to decide what races to put the money in and where to advertise and all that, because I don't know about that stuff. And I don't really want to be, I mean, I don't want to be part of that of it, but the rest of it, we're probably going to have to go out and look for groups, or they're going to have to find us and just ask us for a grant.
Yeah.
And we're just going to have to decide where we want to put the money, you know, where it's best spent. You know, I know I have a link, I have a tab on the page if somebody wants to request a grant now.
Okay.
You know, I've reached out to a bunch of organizations, but I haven't had a great response to give it away now.
Yeah.
So, but I'm sure we get this on an exchange, it becomes worth a few dollars. They're going to be coming out of the woodwork.
Absolutely.
You know, looking for it.
And so I got on there a little bit. And so did you have a reason why you know, what kind of cryptocurrency that you picked versus another? Or did you just pick one and say, or went to your developers and say, hey, this is what I want to do. I want to create a cryptocurrency. You guys tell me what to do.
He just, I think, decided to go with the Bitcoin Litecoin model.
Okay. Proof of work.
Sorry.
Proof of work.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. There's a lot of them out there. So proof of work, proof of life.
Stake.
You know, there's proof of stake. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess he thought that was probably the best.
Okay.
And I'm definitely nobody to argue with it. And most people I've talked to seem to think that was a good route to go. I know our mining's up.
Cool. So you can.
I know there are some people mining.
Oh man, that is great. So you already have people mining.
Yeah, and they've been getting a lot of coins because I guess the way it works early on with the mining.
Yeah,
you do really good. It's like now with Bitcoin, you're probably hardly getting any because thousands of tons of people are doing it.
Right.
So I don't think our instructions are great up there, and I think it's a little tricky. You got to kind of know what you're doing. You know, it's not like you just download a little piece of software and it starts doing it. So
yeah.
But I have one buddy that's mining it, and I know he's already got a bunch. But he did tell me it started slowing down, which I think is what it's supposed to do.
It is supposed to do that.
Yeah, and my developer's happy with it because he's like, "Hey, we need people to mine.
Yeah,
we need the hash power, which I guess powers everything." So I'm not going to talk too much more about that because I don't know about it.
How many people have registered so far on your platform?
I have almost 700, but I about 5 to 10% of them I think are people just trying to kind of create duplicate accounts.
Oh no.
And put all the coins in one account. And we have it set up that you got to do it from a different IP address.
Yeah.
But people are still figuring out a way to get around it. Not a ton, maybe 5 to 10% of them. And I've spent, I think, around $600 roughly on Facebook. And that's probably a good 2/3 of those people.
Yeah.
I mean, a bunch of them were me. And then a bunch of them are these people that signed up and they're telling people. So it probably cost me about I don't know, roughly $1.50 on Facebook to get a sign up.
Yeah.
I was crunching numbers, which I didn't think was too bad.
Yeah, not bad. So, talking about Facebook, have you been deplatformed yet? Because
No.
it seems like every time somebody gets on there is talking any kind of conservative talk.
Well,
deplatformed.
No, once I was up, it was fine. Getting on, if you do anything political now, getting on Facebook, they made me send them a copy of my driver's license front and back.
Uh-huh.
They mailed me a letter, snail mailed me a letter with a code on it. And then I had to go into my account. I had to enter that code. And then they still asked me a bunch of questions. Like, those questions they ask you, like, have you ever lived at this address? Have you ever had this car? Like,
yeah,
it's kind of credit related. I don't know. Then they asked me those questions. And then I had to do some other stuff. I had to do what they wanted me to do. But if you do what you want to do, then they're good. Then they're happy. They just want to make sure that you're who you say you are and you're real, which is fine with me as long as they're doing the same to the other side.
I agree.
And I did create a woke coin Facebook page just to see. And then I tried to do it and they treated me the same. So hopefully they're being equal. So
yeah. Yeah. It's still kind of scary that it's like, they don't like you. They just take you right off. If they can do it like everybody says, like if they can do it to Trump, they can do it to anybody. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not doing anything on my MAGA Coin Facebook page that's going to raise any flag with them. I'm being pretty conservative because look, if I want to be on there, I got to play the game. I don't love it. It is what it is though.
So bigger question is, have you reached out or tried to reach out to Donald Trump to get his endorsement of MAGA Coin?
No, I was going to, at first I was like, if I get 500, I'm going to try to reach out to one of his kids. And then since I kind of started talking to a couple guys about help me get it to the next level, I kind of backed off that. But I think trying to get to his kids would be probably easier than get to him. But I have had an NFL player saw my ad, an ex-NFL player, Charles Stackhouse.
Okay.
He wrote me. I don't know if he registered. He's actually creating his own coin for like sports betting, he told me. But the cool thing about advertising on Facebook is, well, Trump won't see it because I guess he can't be on Facebook. The only thing I clicked on who to see my ad is people that engage in conservative, like political, whatever. I can't remember exactly what it said. So anybody possibly can see my ad. So it's possible one of Trump's kids could see my ad. So
right on.
That's the cool thing about Facebook. But I would probably go in that direction. I mean, all I need is like Lindell, one of Trump's kids, or the right person to see or hear about this. I can tell you this, everybody I tell about it, if they're like a real Trumpster, they're like, oh, that's cool, man. That's good.
Yeah.
They like it. So I have almost no doubt we get this on an exchange, it's going to work. As long as we got enough people that know about it.
Awesome. And so where are you located?
I live in Littleton, Colorado.
Littleton, Colorado. Awesome, man. So, and are you going to reach out to, grassroots movement? So any county, any state, you're going to be reaching out, helping those smaller. Like, how do you decide, or are you going to leave that up to your the people that are running the PACs to make those decisions on who's going to get the money and who's not, or how do you vet your?
Well, one of the guys I'm going back and forth with, we started, trying to work out something. I think I'm going to want to tell him that I want control of 500,000 of the coins. And I want to decide where they go. And he certainly can help me out. The problem is if some other buddy's running the PAC, I don't want to muddy the waters, but I would like some control so I have some say of where they're going. And I'll probably have him help me decide, what's worth it. And look, I'm sure some will screw up on.
Yeah.
But, I don't think we're going to give any of them like 100,000 coins. They might get 2,500, 5-10 grand.
Well, what's the benefit? I mean, other than they can't take it away from you, like it's your coin. Is there any benefit to doing it in the cryptocurrency world versus the regular just going out fundraising? That that's just a conventional route of raising money.
Well, part of the fact that we're going to set aside that 15 million. So years ago, real quick, let me tell you this story. I went to a Catholic charity dinner, and they had an auction. And these people were paying exorbitant amount of money for things they were auctioning off. I mean, they had a Labrador puppy, and some guy paid like $4,000 for it. And he walked up and he gave it to the pastor. And they were auctioning off like front row seats to the graduation. So these people were just paying crazy money for stuff. And it made me think this kind of applies to MAGA Coin, because if these people know that this money is going to help us, help our causes, help us win back the House and the White House, they're going to want to buy it. They're going to want the price to go up because they know, it's our cause, it's our passion, just like at that auction.
Right.
So hopefully we kind of have a built-in way of, making people want to buy it and have it, go up in price and, that kind of thing.
That's cool. And there's different ways with cryptocurrencies to create what they call smart contracts.
I've heard that term.
Yeah. I wonder if there's a way of just like incorporating that into your fundraising to help make sure that the money goes to the right thing. You know what I mean? And instead of just being lost in, BLM right now, it's like all this money went to BLM, and where did it go? Went into the pockets of the
one that bought 4 houses.
Yeah. So it's, and I think that's one thing. Anytime that I'm donating money, is this really going to go to the cause that it's supposed to? That's always one of the questions that goes through my head when I am donating money or giving to charity or things like that, because that's important to me, and I feel like that's important to a lot of people. And so it might be something to talk to your developer about, in down the road. So
yeah, I'll look into the smart contract thing and how it can apply to MAGA Coin.
That's cool. So you created the coin, you got things going. What do you need next?
Well, I kind of feel like I need somebody next that can probably get thousands of people registered. So we have enough of a following and people that have the coin. So when we go to an exchange, I think we'll want to be a coin they might want to put on, because they know, hey, this guy's got, 5 or 10,000 people already registered. They have a coin. I think that's the main thing, and getting, the word out about it. And just that kind of thing. And somebody who knows how to get it on an exchange, make sure all the code's correct, because I know that's a big thing with getting on an exchange.
Yeah.
I think it's just starting to get a little beyond me. If I had a lot more of the technical knowledge, I probably wouldn't be so apt to give it up. But between that and somebody's going to have to deal with the super PAC money, it's just starting to get a little, above me. And I just feel like, look, I've got all these people just spending $600-700. I mean, that's nothing. And I think if we get enough people, I think some exchange will take us. I mean, I worry a little bit. They might want to, if they're run by these like young woke kids, they might be, well, where are you going to put this money? And get in our grill about that. And I don't know if they will, if they won't. Well, but I think it's important we're on an American exchange, though, an exchange based in the U.S.
That is the why people like cryptocurrency so much, is because the whole way it was created is that it's kind of outside of the grips of the elite in a way.
Yeah.
So that I think you're onto something there, in getting the right people backing you and getting it on the exchanges is going to be a huge step. That's really, really cool. Where can people go right now to get registered or check out Megacoin?
Megacoin.io.
Megacoin.io. Very, very cool, man. Well, that is all all I have right now. Is there anything else you want to add before we wrap things up here?
Not off the top of my head. I appreciate you guys giving me the platform, and anybody who wants to sign up, please go do it, and sort of forget about it, and I'm sure we get on an exchange. We'll be emailing everybody and let them know, and
Cool.
and I think it's going to happen. It's just going to be a matter of time before I hand this off to the right guy that can get over the finish line.
Yeah, definitely.
Because whoever's going to probably take it has a real incentive, because they're going to run the super PAC. They're getting, obviously they're getting some coins to do it. So,
Yeah.
I think just based on me talking to people and how the people respond to me on Facebook with it, a lot of conservatives, they like it. I mean, hell, if we just get 1% of the 75 million Trumpsters, what's that, 7,500?
Yeah.
And people on Facebook, one of my ads, it was a messenger ad, and quite a few, they'd be asking me, hey, are you guys on an exchange? Can I buy it? Blah, 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 blah. So the response is pretty positive. And,
Cool.
there's enough of us, I think, that'll buy this coin to make it work.
Definitely.
If
Well,
we go live.
I registered, and it was a very easy process. And I believe you are giving away a few coins for registering. So I recommend all the viewers out there. Yeah, I recommend all the viewers out there go on to megacoin.io right now and get registered and get your coins. And down the road, you'll be able to give them away to help out your local communities and help support your causes at the grassroots level. It's very, very exciting. Marc, thank you so much for coming on and sharing with us what you got going on with Megacoin. And you can find us at newrightnetwork.com. Don't forget to become a premium subscriber at nrnplus.com. That's nrnplus.com. Get all the latest updates on Telegram at New Right Net, and follow us on all of the other platforms at New Right Network. Thank you so much for having us, or thank you so much for coming on today, Marc.
No, thank you guys. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And hopefully, maybe in a month we can chat again if we got some progress going, and let you know what's going on.
That would be awesome. We'd
Cool.
be very, very honored to keep this ball rolling.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, it's for all of us. It's
Absolutely.
for all of us,
That's what makes America great.
Yeah.
We find a way.
Yeah, I mean, I see people, if they're wearing anything, I think they might be a Trumpster on the street. I just go up to them sometimes. I'm like, hey, you Trumpster?
Yeah.
And they might look at me and they might be, yeah. And I'm like, I tell them what I'm doing, and I give them a card, or I let them scan the QR code on the back of my phone. And,
well, I'm out here in California, and it's funny. Me and my girlfriend, we have our shirts. I have the 1776 shirt, and it's funny. Just it's very subtle, but people that do see it, they're like, yeah, we love your shirt, love your shirt. It's like, there's a lot of us out here, but a lot of people in California, I think if you're conservative, you're like afraid to speak out. But I feel like once you do, there's a lot more out here than you think there are. But
yeah, well, we'll see what happens with this recall. It's gonna be pretty interesting. Well,
I think the left does a good job of thinking that we're the minority, but I don't think we are. I think we're the majority, the silent majority, and we're gonna fight our fight the best that we can. And no doubt we're going to come out ahead of this.
Yeah, well, I just don't believe that many of these liberals, they're on board with all this woke crap. I mean, I just can't believe they're all. It's just the loudest ones they're too screaming about it and yelling about it.
Yeah,
yeah. They're not. I still think we're relatively a center right country. I mean, I hope so, but I don't know anymore.
Yeah. Well, cool. Thanks a lot, Marc.
All right, thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah. Take care.
You've been listening to New Right Network, mobilizing, countering, energizing. Online at newrightnetwork.com.